What's up, Cowboys Nation? It's your boy Jay Tuck, live and direct, still out here in Tampa, man. Amazing weather, as you can see. I'm just sitting by the poolside, man, pooling and cooling, activating vacation mode, man. So if you're new watching this channel, comment, like, subscribe, somewhere down there, somewhere down there, somewhere down there. And be sure to turn that notification bell to stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys content. Man, what a game last night, what a game. A lot of people are asking me, Tuck, you didn't go on after the game last night, man, because I was kind of speechless. Like, you know, the game took a lot of energy. I would say this, Cowboys Nation, we were out there, we were turned up. I stood the whole game. I was barking, you know, in a nice, reasonable, respectful way, having a good time with all the Bucs fans, man. And I'll say this, we left blood in their mouth, right? And that's one of the things I was always just preaching about this game. It's like, we respect Tampa, but I don't fear Tampa. And we saw clearly yesterday that we are just as talented as not only that team, but any team in the NFL. So there's no need, Cowboys Nation, for us to be afraid, to be timid, to be like, oh, there's no way we can compete with that team. As long as you give me my quarterback out there, we're going to compete. And last night was pure evidence of that situation, because Dak Prescott clearly had this team ready to compete. And I said this in my pregame during the tailgate. I was okay once I saw Dak Prescott in that last episode of Hard Knocks, because I knew that he had his team ready to go. I felt it, I saw it. I just knew it was a different type of energy once I really saw that last episode of Hard Knocks and what Dak Prescott was really, locked in and focused on. So that's why yesterday, man, I was not antsy. I wasn't, intense. Like, I was like the calm before the storm. I really felt like the Dallas Cowboys are going to go out there and compete. It's going to come down to the final minutes of the game, which we did. Sometimes people want to call me a fanatic, I'm not rational. I just know my team, and I just know how we perform. To be quite honest with you, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, I'm a lot more worried about the Week 2 game versus the Chargers than I am versus Tampa. And it's just because I know how historically how our team does. When everyone's counting us out, when everyone is bashing us in the media and giving us no chance, we normally step up and compete to prove everyone wrong. Like, I kind of like being the underdogs. Like, keep us the underdogs. But now, just watching everything this morning, everyone's in love with Dak. He's elite. The Cowboys are explosive. Like, all the things we've been saying, now the mainstream media wants to start giving them our flowers. But it's like, you know what? At this point, Dan Orlovsky or whatever his name is, keep it. We don't need it. I don't want it. I honestly don't want you being the Dak fan now. Skip Bayless had us losing by almost 14 and wasn't going to be watching the game at halftime. Keep it. Don't come on your show and bang the table saying, how about those Cowboys? I don't want it. So, it is what it is. Now, going to the game, I think that the one thing that I like, I'll start with the positives, right? Dak Prescott was definitely a positive in the game. We all know that. There was no limitations. And we kind of talked about this on my show, also a Star Game. Like, were they fully going to take the reins off and let Dak be Dak? Or were they going to kind of scale things back a little bit? They obviously didn't. Like, he was just going, I call him Dak Stafford, like, as much as he was throwing yesterday. But the offense was in sync. The offense was in rhythm. So, I was very a heavy advocate about preseason and different things. It seems like the Cowboys were prepared to go in with this game plan, whether Dak's been limited in camp or not. So that was rewarding to see. So I think Dak did great. Offensive line did great as well. They kept Dak clean for the most part clean. He only had one sack, and versus that Tampa front four, that's critical. Connor McGovern, golden star. Connor McGovern played great last night. And so now we have to go into the conversation is, can we just stash Connor McGovern back on the bench now when Zach Martin comes back? Now, I'm not saying start him over Zach Martin, but between him and Connor Williams, this has been the conversation. And I want to say this again, loud and clear. If something goes wrong with Lyle, I would honestly move Connor Williams to right tackle and let McGovern play left guard. Like he did it in Texas. I feel like the capacity is there with Connor Williams, but I feel like when it comes to the offensive line, if something was to go astray, you want to have the best players on the field that you can, and I think that Connor McGovern gives us, some very solid reps as far as being on the field. So it's going to be interesting to see how Mike McCarthy and his staff moves and operates with the offensive line decisions moving forward. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, I know that is the hot topic of discussion because I posted a tweet about it, and everyone was kind of like, you're right, Tuck, or you're wrong, Tuck. Now, I'll say this from the standpoint of just the game plan, right, of what we needed from Zeke for the most part. He did great. He was in there colliding. He was in there blocking and protecting, pass protecting for Dak Prescott. You know, he was stepping up in the hole, banging with Devin White and David and those guys to give Dak Prescott a clear path to be able to do what he did last night. So Ezekiel Elliott definitely did his job. But I'm going to keep it a buck, y'all. I hate effing abandoning the run game. I don't give a damn who you're playing, what their rank was last year. You have to at least test them. And I felt like the Cowboys got really timid when it came to the run game. Like four carries for Ezekiel Elliott in a half of football is idiotic. I don't care who we're playing, if it's the Ravens, if it's what, I don't care. Just clearly going out there and abandoning the run and asking your quarterback to do that much in a game, you can't continue that throughout the season. There's no way. That's not a winning formula. You are going to need to have some run capacity in some of these games, and especially as we get to the dog days of, December and also January. So you can't just abandon the run. Now, I know you want to plan accordingly to whoever your opponent is, but that was last year's Tampa, bro. Like, I don't understand why people were so afraid to go against Tampa's run defense based off some stuff they did last year. You test it out. Zeke at least got 10 in the first half. Touches, carries, whatever. But for him not to really be involved in the offense, I just didn't like it. And I'm going to go into a situation here in a second where we damn sure should have ran the damn football. And I'm not going full West Coast Cowboy with a salute to my guy, but to not give Ezekiel Elliott the opportunity to utilize his talent as far as an offensive weapon was stupid to me, and I did not like that in the game plan. But for overall, good game offensively. Defense. Still to the other side of the ball. Defense looked a lot better. It looked in a lot better sync than what we've seen last year, and so we've been saying that. All they have to do is be top 15 instead of to be top 10, But say surprisingly, everybody looked well except Anthony Brown. And we knew this, y'all. We knew this. How many nights, days, hours, if you go back to the draft, we said we need an outside corner, need an outside corner. Here's the free agency. There's William Jackson available. There's Richard Sherman still available. We go get these guys. Go get out Patrick Peterson. Like, all these guys were available to go get you another outside corner opposite of Trayvon Diggs, and the Dallas Cowboys did nothing. And everyone's been on Twitter like, no, Tuck, we got Nahshon Wright and Kelvin Joseph. Here's the concern with Nahshon Wright and Kelvin Joseph. All right. As optimistic as we are about these guys, let's keep it a buck. They did not win the position from Anthony Brown throughout camp. So there was something that was limiting these guys where the Cowboys and Dan Quinn didn't feel enough confidence to put them out there week one, right? So that's what we have to really look at, is like, how high is this defense and this organization really are on Anthony Brown? But they didn't make any adjustments, man. And then to have Anthony Brown and Antonio Brown, it was barbecue chicken all damn night. Anytime there was really a big play, you saw number 30 in there. There was no adjustments. They didn't say, let's put Nahshon Wright out there, or let's move Jordan Lewis to the outside and maybe put in Maurice Kennedy in the slot. Like, nothing. There was no adjustments, and they allowed Anthony Brown to go out there and fully get abused. And it was heartbreaking as a Cowboys fan to sit there and see it, because we saw it coming from a mile away. We've been seeing it from the summer, man. So that was the one thing that's really discouraging. Going into the linebackers, it looks like Micah Parsons, Keanu Neal, they are our guys. I think Jalen Smith only had about 15 reps. LVE only had 11 yesterday. They are our guys, linebackers moving forward. So I know that's been the conversation right now. I know who do we go, rotation. Dan Quinn has found his guys, and Micah Parsons and Keanu Neal. I think Micah Parsons played solid. He's still a rookie. He's still going through a learning the pace and everything. But when I saw yesterday, everything looked solid. The run defense was a lot improved, right? Even though Tampa really didn't test us much with the run, it was a lot more improved, and overall we were forcing turnovers. My biggest frustration is I expected to get a lot more pressure with the front four. We didn't. Randy Gregory, he was there. We were always like a half a second away, and that's why I was saying in the stance, like, we are this close. We are this close. Now, granted, a lot of that's Tom Brady. I mean, he just knows how to feel the pressure and get rid of the ball. But we were just a half a second too late when it came to getting pressure on Tom Brady, and he had a clean day in the pocket for the most part. I mean, he didn't even have to wash his uniform. Like, he was good. But yeah, I mean, interior line, I mean, Osa played decent, Urban played decent, Watkins played decent. Like I said, on the front four as far as the run defense is concerned, but I expected to see a lot more pressure. Now, situational football. Here is what had me hot yesterday, where I couldn't even go live. Like, so I said to my guys, SoFlo as well, like, we just didn't understand it. We all knew. Everybody knew. You cannot allow Tom Brady to get the ball back in the last possession. How many times as Cowboys fans do we have to go that? There's like 3 quarterbacks right now in the NFL. You did not allow them to have the last possession. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes. And then you might toss some Dak Prescott in there, right? But we knew we could not leave time on the clock when it comes to Tom Brady. And as soon as Zuerlein kicked that field goal, and luckily, I'm not even going to talk about Zuerlein, bro, because I know he's still going to be on the roster because we have a lot of favoritism in-house. But the one thing that I said, we need to get another kicker. It concerns me. We had a punter competition, but not for the kicker position. That is very discouraging for me. And I feel like Greg Zuerlein is still going to be on this roster going to week 2. But that's a whole other story. But even after when he made that field goal, every Bucs fan knew, I knew, it was too much time left for Tom Brady. Not to mention he already had a timeout. And so I already knew it was coming. So the play calling, going back to the run game, we were already in field goal position. The most important thing, if we're going to go for a field goal, which we all knew, it should have been a walk-off. And how do you really get that? You hand the ball to Ezekiel Elliott, you continue to move the chains, stay in bounds. The incompleted pass hurt us. Zeke going out of bounds hurt us. Like, those plays were very critical because every second was important on that final drive. It should have been at least like 10 to 20 seconds left by the time that Greg Zuerlein was lined up to take that final field goal. But we didn't, and we left too much time on the clock. And we all knew what was happening, man, you know, and unfortunately it did. Now, going to the push-off situation, it is what it is. We've been through that last year when we got the offensive pass interference. It was the same exact thing. It was an offensive pass interference, but we're not getting that call on the road versus Tom Brady in Tampa. It just wasn't happening. So it is what it is. So you really can't come down to one decision and one, you know, play call to make up the game. But, you know, it happens in line of football. Overall, though, you know, like I said, there's no such thing as moral victories, especially in this situation, because I felt like going into the game and even watching the game, we were the better team and we deserved to win. So it's not like, oh, you know, well, we played great versus Tampa and we made it close and they're the Super Bowl champs. Okay, that's cool. But I felt like we're a better team than Tampa. That's not me being a phantom. That's just using my football mindset. I mean, they have Tom Brady, and this is what it is. They won the Super Bowl last year. But even go and check my tweets. February 10th, I was never afraid of Tampa like that. You know, and it's like, I just didn't feel like Tampa's up here and we're down here when there's underdogs. So when all those lines started to come out, I'm like, bro, nah. Maybe Tampa's here, but we might be here. But, you know, that's why I was not really trying to take this moral victory, because we did everything that we needed to do to win that game. Greg Zuerlein hurt us. Anthony Brown hurt us. And then clock management hurt us. Those little things adds up when you're playing these caliber of teams. And so I hope this is something that we really take away once we start to get into playoffs, decision making, you know, making adjustments on the fly, and having a special teams. Overall, special teams was horrendous last night. Special teams, it definitely matters, all 3 cylinders of the game, man. But, you know, that's just my thoughts on it. having a great time still out here in Tampa. You see, like I said, I'm poolside. I'm gonna chill, probably go to the beach, man. Salute to all the Cowboys fans who pulled up on me at the game. We had a great time, man. It was a fun environment, and we'll definitely do it again soon, man. But it was time to, you know, dust ourselves off and get ready for week 2 and beating these Los Angeles Chargers. But I felt like last night's game was completely winnable, and we should have walked away with the victory, man. It's your boy Jay Tuck. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm turning on that notification bell to stay updated with all Dallas Cowboys content. Follow me on Twitter at jtuck151 and cowboysfansonly.com to get your merch, man. I appreciate everybody. Everybody stay safe, stay blessed, stay encouraged. Go Cowboys. Peace.